Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Oh man, we're waiting for it. The reveals. Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, the Horus Heresy, the Old World, Warhammer Underworlds, the Kill Team, and Necromunda. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Warhammer World Champion, or not Warhammer World, excuse me, World Championships of Warhammer is happening in Atlanta. And yeah, it's pretty darn cool. On his homeworld of Nostromo, Conrad Kurz, also known by which moniker? Night Haunter. It's Haunter, right? Night Haunter? I do believe it is Night Haunter. Turn the volume up a little bit. Sounds coming. Okay, come on. What is it? Night Haunter? Am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Probably wrong. Rarely ever right. Anyway, so I know there's been tons and tons of speculation as far as what to expect from this preview. And I think I'm pretty sure there was already a leak today, as of the 17th of November or 18th for those of you living in the future. Yeah, I think it was Dark Angels, right? So, okay, cool. I mean, in Warhammer 40,000, I only get really fired up for Eldari, maybe Harlequins, maybe Drukhari, and Leagues of Votann. And that's about it. Age of Sigmar, I get fired up for just about anything. I didn't have Deepkin, though. I would love to see some more Deepkin units get made. Not just the character pieces, but like brand new kinds of fighting units, Because guaranteed, I'm a hammerhead shark, a stingray, right? Those kind of things. Those would be fantastic in the Idoneth Deepkin. Can you imagine like a stingray on the battlefield? Oh, shit. Who was it? Was it Nighthaunt? Was I right? I missed the answer. I was too busy blabbing. The Grandmaster of the Deathwing is the title bestowed upon which of these Dark Angels? Grandmaster of the Deathwing? It's Belial. As the answer already popped. How come that answer popped up right away? The other answer didn't pop up right away. What the hell's this baloney all about? Anyway, okay, so. Which major historical event was Orican the Diviner able to predict, and in some cases influenced by scrying the stars? The Horus Heresy. All the above. He was able to get into all the above. Oh, there we go. That was a guess, by the way. I had no idea. Still don't have a clue. Okay, so again, what are we looking forward to? What are we looking forward to? What is the name of that doctrine that the Palatine and forces of Necromunda prosecute? It is the Pax Helmar. Or is it the Lex Imperialis? Shit. I'm going to go with 2. Pax Helmar. Right? Yeah. There we go. Palatine forces are effectively House Helmar's private security force and are responsible for quelling any potential uprising. A chance for more mischief. Which of the following characters in Warhammer Age of Sigmar was originally found in the world that was? Ariel? Yeah, Ariel. Marathi in the old world? The above. Okay, apparently it's all the above. Jeremy Witt, all the above. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Oh, man. So, the mortal followers of Sigmar strike out from the free cities in massive Dawnbringer crusades for what primary reason? Number 2? 3? Number 2. Number 2. It's number 2. Yeah, Jeremy. Number 2? Yeah, I agree. Number 2. I read the battle tome. Well, they will certainly do some of these other things along the way. The goal of the Dawnbringer Crusades decrease the holdings of their loyal to the God King Sigmar by finding new bastions of order. Oh, man. While I was getting all this prepared, getting ready, figured, you know what? I'll have my brownie now as we're talking about all this Warhammer stuffs. I enjoy my Lorehammer. Yeah, I'll bet. If you think I was too slow. Come on, Jeremy, where were you on that one? Dunes are toxic and irradiated by long centuries of unchecked pollution. Pollution. Oh, we're starting soon? Are we starting soon? Get this ball rolling here or what? Not paying attention. Yeah, I know. Same here. I missed that first answer. Was it Night Haunter or Night Hunter? I thought it was Haunter. Okay, well, so it's starting soon. Let's start. Let's go. Let's do it. Ooh. Haunter. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. It was Haunter. I know things. Murder Batman. Yeah, he's the Murder Batman. It's an apt description as any. Goofing around too much. Boop, boop, boop. 10 o'clock, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Get some Warhammers going. Let's get our Warhammer on here, people. For God's sakes, let's get our Warhammer on. Tristan D, hype, hype, hype. Yes, I am hyped. I don't know how much of a spoiler it was for the leaked photos that were out today. I seen that was Dark Angels and everything like that. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll see a lot of Dark Angel type stuff come up today. I don't know, but yeah. Jonathan Willis, hello, hello. Glad this is on a Friday night so I can get away with being up so late. Yeah, and I can't imagine any of you from the UK watching me right now because I imagine many of you are asleep. But I did see quite a few streamers who are in the UK who are up at this hour. And, tip of the hat because, that's dedication. That's dedication for you in your love of Warhammer. I mean, if you have to truly love the Warhammers, if you're up at this hour in Europe catching these previews. Actually, what time is it in Australia land? Oh, it's 2 a.m. Oof. 2 a.m. or 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. 2 p.m., right? Okay, so it's plenty of time for the Aussies. Jonathan, oops, I'm on the wrong account. Okay. To the right account? Maybe you should be the right guy. Oh, Ghost of Starman Alex, that's better. There we go. Oh, here we go. Eddie, it's got to be way past your bedtime, buddy. Turn this up a bit.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that if you're in the UK watching this now or in Europe, it is very late. Well,
it's very late.
But it is a Friday night, so thank you for joining us to see some very cool Warhammer. And if you're here in the United States or anywhere in the world, then you are very welcome as well.
Yeah, Jeremy, yeah, it's possible.
We have some amazing
Ebb and Flow, what's up, everybody?
game systems, basically everything.
Well, not quite everything, but yeah, we've got, I think, 7 game systems worth of stuff to show you today. Obviously,
put myself right between them.
And
Right here.
Sigmar,
Put myself right here.
Heresy, some Old World, some
I think it was better
Underworlds,
up here, right?
Necromunda, and there's another one as well. Escapes me at the moment. Kill Team,
Right in the middle.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we're here at the World Championships. Where some
Ebb and Flow, better late than never.
This is
Yeah,
happening
always.
And the championship from all over the world. I've already got to see this. It's a special thing for here. We're going to show it to y'all now.
Yeah, we've
Y'all.
just run a preview for the people.
Ghost of Starman, yeah, it's like 3 a.m., but I'm a student, so it's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're supposed to be in school, right?
All won GT events around the world. We've come together.
Hopefully you're learning. Hopefully you're doing some learning.
Country as well. We've also got the Warhammer 40,000 Grand Narrative, which which is a huge immersive narrative event. I think there's a good few hundred players in attendance for that, so we had a packed room full of excited Warhammer fans, and they all kind of enjoyed the stuff we got to show them, and now we get to share it with the rest of you as well, which is really cool and very exciting.
Oh, did they already share it with everybody at the thing?
All weekend to come back and see us, but let's actually jump right into this.
Yeah, well, before we do, there's a few things we always do first. I know you're excited. I know you're excited, but we have to ask people where they're tuning in from. That's like the best bit. Right?
Goes to Starman in my final year now. Very self-led.
So let us know where you're tuning in from, guys. Let us know if you're doing any Warhammer in the chat.
Going for your doctorate? Is that what you're doing?
Excited. And if you've got any kind of predictions or anything you want to see, do please let us know what you're looking forward to seeing, which game system you're excited about.
And how well you did at the trivia.
And how well you did at the trivia? I got them all right, obviously. Obviously.
Got bigger fish to fry right now.
So I was
bored to be hammered.
That was so cool. I was actually playing along right as we were about to go live. That was awesome.
Warhammered.
Yep.
That sounds like a program for just sitting around drinking and talking Warhammer stuff, right? Warhammered. Let's do it. Let's start it. Or does already somebody do that? Is there a podcast, Warhammered, where everybody's just plastered off their ass? Like legit plastered? That'd be funny.
Yeah, they're going so fast I can barely see it. I was in New York, the UK, Rhode Island, Canada. I think I saw a
Rhode Island, New York, Canada. Canada's bigger than the States. And it's just drum it up as one big thing. Oh, I'm from Canada.
It'll be like within a few hundred meters of the Fang, I think.
The disrespect, I tells you, Eddie. The disrespect, Eddie. Where's Eddie? Eddie?
Cool. All right. Well, I think we probably should jump into.
Go stand. Getting masters actually, but I might come back for a PhD later. Oh, very cool. Oh, here we go. Woo, Nicky runs. Ooh. All right. Astromancer. Whoa. Details. Rubik's Cube with him. Control the cosmos. Yeah, pretty cool. He feels like he's leaning a little too much to the one side, though.
If you've been watching the live events, you've seen Orkin in just about every Necron list out
Jeremy
there
Witt,
right
Beer
now.
Hammer. Everybody drinks during the game. Finish your drink, board
But
it.
a new model into that unit.
Yeah, this is a new multi-part.
Evan Phil, Kris, that
classic
hammer
Warhammer
bit
Diviner.
is your
It's very
new
cool.
stream. Yeah,
Miniature
exactly.
On its way very soon. This is another step on the way to having fully.
Yeah, is it me or is he leaning a little too much to the right?
Dynamic miniature.
Like his left.
It's the arch kind of chronomancer of the Necrons. He is able to predict.
It's pretty cool looking
the
model.
passage of time in the future using all sorts of arcane science. Not any warp shenanigans. Nothing so crass as that for the Necrons. Just a complete mastery of the physical.
How's the volumes? Is it
We know
decent?
this guy from
Too loud?
streaming,
Too quiet?
streaming from the championship. Very popular currently in Necron armies as he kind of buffs nearby units, and also is no slouch in combat. But also a very interesting character in the lore as well. If you've read any of the Black Library novels,
I dig the little cube
the
thing he's got in his
Divine
hand.
is
It's
a
kinda cool.
fine read, and he's one of the stars of that particular book.
I love it. All the personality that's come about with the Necrons over the last several years.
Bit louder on the stream?
It's very captivating. Love it. And this model is brilliant.
Yeah, very cool as well. It's got kind of a little bit of canopticness about it as well, with that kind of cloak down the back and that kind of weird wavy spine. The chronomancers and the kind of technomancers.
Chronomancers.
Of the Necrons.
Just right.
Kind of enhance the
Jeremy,
body very
the staff's gonna
much.
snap
A little bit, yeah. There's
to
bit
a
of kind of arcane
staff
mad
breeze.
scientist about this guy as
Not as
well.
bad as Fulgrim Spear, though. Yeah.
So getting this sweet new figure.
No, I think that staff will be
I don't
okay.
think I've seen
I mean, you got to be
anyone
pretty rough with your models
that
too.
hasn't had this guy in it, so obviously
That
he'll be on
concerned
his way
about it, right?
with, alongside the new Codex, which we've already announced, alongside some other new Necron miniatures which are on their way as well. So there's
Stiff breeze. Yeah, I know what you meant.
coming, and the brand new Codex, which is allows you loads of cool new.
You
ways
had
to
me
use
at
Necron
stiff.
armies, so it's a good time to be part of the undying metallic legions right now.
Can't wait.
Speaking of which,
Okay,
we have
Necron.
a little bit more on the way for the Necrons, particularly for fans of narrative play in Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah,
Let's
love
see
me
the
some narrative.
video.
Orion Nexus. New Crusade book. Cool. This show was awesome. Orion Nexus. Too short though. Okay, let's go. Do this.
Look at that, launching your own campaign. Love the story-driven stuff. Speaking of things like the narrative happening here as well. But look at this already Amazing new stuff to add into your game system.
Yeah, so
Paul's
this
trying
is
to
the next
stop himself from
narrative
dropping an
expansion
F-bomb.
for Warhammer 40,000. This is the Pariah Nexus. Obviously, we were just coming out.
Like, this is
with
too
a great
fucking great. I
Warhammer
mean,
Plus
too
show,
fucking awesome.
which
I mean,
featured the Pariah Nexus, and this is a campaign system set within that space. So we know that the Necrons are up to all sorts of weird arcane science shenanigans, trying to kind of explore the concept
Eddie
of
was about to
soul
say
and
shit,
seeing
dude.
if the humans are kind of
the
exploiting
Necrons are up to
resource
shit.
almost to kind of harvest. In the same time, the Adeptus Mechanicus very interested in some of the tech and things that the Necrons have been unearthing. So you've got this kind of arms race of two metallic armies into each other, the ancient Necrons and the kind of arcane science of the Adeptus Mechanicus in a sort of super weapon arms race into the Pariah Nexus, tying into all of the stories that we know have been happening right back to the start of.
But technically, would it be an arms race against Necrons, since Necrons are like millions of years ahead of everybody?
Kind of mega narrative of the Necrons, or you enjoyed the story of Pariah Nexus on Warhammer Plus. This is absolutely a way to kind of capture that essence in your games of Warhammer 40,000.
Were you awakening any old rivalries through this story?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right, so that's on its way. So really exciting news for
Exciting stuff.
narrative play for Warhammer 40,000. We've obviously been talking an awful lot this tournament and about match play, but there's whole amazing other ways of playing Warhammer 40,000. Narrative, of course, Crusade, a huge success in the last few years, and this is the next big, not just way to play, but also moving the story on of that particular part of the galaxy, which has had a pretty exciting last few years, the Pariah Nexus.
Love the painting. Adeptus Mechanicus is one of those like super Warhammer things. Like you get to awaken all
Been reading, listening to the book.
Yeah, and
The
this
Mechanic.
Crusade
Which
expansion as
book is
well,
that?
So it kind of works for
What's the
all
title of that
Imperial
book?
armies and all
Not
armies,
familiar.
really. So like, anybody
I'm way
can
behind on my
play
Warhammer
some of the
reading.
rules from that, but it's particularly cool if you've got either an Imperial force or a Necron force and you want to kind of explore that bit of the galaxy. There are so many cool places around the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and those Crusade books are basically going to jump between key war zones, continue the narrative and the story in that location, and the next big one is going to be into the Pariah Nexus, which is pretty exciting.
That's awesome. We're just getting started.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at
Horus Heresy
another
Mechanic. Oh yeah, I haven't read that one yet.
for Warhammer 40,000.
I think I'm only like book 6 or 7 in. Ooh, what's this? Sister? Chaplain? Oh, Dark Angels. Oh, is this a new Ezekiel or Belial? Ezekiel? Oi! Your secrets.
Amazing. How many weapons does that guy have?
He certainly comes
As
very well
Moly?
armed. This is Asmodee, the
Asmodee.
original interrogator chaplain of the Dark Angels, one of the most recognizable characters in Warhammer 40,000, and getting a brand new plastic miniature. This is the Master of Repentance, one of the most recognizable chaplains.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't really lean too heavy into the Mark Gibbons artwork.
Encapsulates some of the absolute gothic horror of Warhammer 40,000, and particularly of the Dark Angels, the kind of brooding, imposing figure of Asmodee.
They can awaken the spirit of the Marines around him. And this
It looks cool with that, without the hood on his head, but I think I prefer it with the hood.
robes, the cloaks, the skulls, the implements of destruction, and revealing secrets.
Yeah, I mean,
I like how the
there's really
smoke is
things to
all
call out on this model.
wisping
You've got
around him.
some nice angles of the front and back of there. So you've got a hooded head option if you want, which is the kind of classic Asmodee that you guys will recognise from the current miniature, but also the classic miniature and some of the classic artwork we've seen. But we've never
That's
seen
pretty
what's
cool.
underneath that hood before, and now we can find out. Turns out it's a skull helmet. Who'd have known, right? So it's a chaplain. You've got some very, very imposing weaponry there, an enormous great caliber great sword, Crozius Arcanum, of course, with the kind of winged angel. On his back, he's got his pistol. He's also got some implements of torture in case he manages to get hold of
Evan Flo,
fallen,
most
or
recognizable,
one of the
but let's
enemies
explain
in
it.
their location. You've got a back pack on him there. You can either have
Ghost of
a
Starman.
twisting,
Death better with the hood up, yeah.
scope
100%
and
want to pick
essence,
up
or
this
if you
guy for converting.
paint
Yeah, oh
it
yeah.
nicely, or if you maybe don't really fancy painting lots of smoke effects because it's it's not your jam. You can absolutely just have a plain backpack and not have that essence.
I love the options, especially if you.
Yeah, it's nice that they give it the options.
Yeah, I mean, the other, obviously, whichever one you pick,
You know,
the other one is going to be
G-Dub
available
has
to
been
you.
providing
This is
options.
the kind of classic one, I suppose. The other thing to call out there, if you're a Fallen Angels fan like me, the plastic Fallen Angel on the base there. This is which is pretty cool.
There's one for you.
There's one. Here you go. It's in some kind of looks like Crusade pattern armor there to me, with I think a sword through his head. So he's maybe not having the best day, but you know, still nice to see them represented.
This just screams Dark Angels.
pretty cool.
This is the art jumping off.
Oh, it's
the
so
page.
goth. I love the look.
Yeah, this is just like the Mark Gibbons piece.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Like this could have just as easily have been a commemorative miniature, or in their commemorative series.
Nothing is too big for 40k.
There you go.
Because they recently did that Chaos
There's no
neuter, right?
things over the top. But speaking
Terminator?
of enormous great weapons, we have another unit to show you today for the Dark Angels, which is the Deathwing Knights. This is a new Terminator unit, the specialized elite of the Dark Angels Inner Circle.
I got to see these. You know,
Best of the
they
best,
are
the
amazing.
best,
Look at that. Just
with honors.
Just intimidating, coming across
Lucius.
the Who does not
Interrogate?
love
Yeah, Interrogate.
the impending march of Terminators?
I mean, Terminators are innately cool, right? This has been a great year for
I like the
Terminator
helmets.
fans. We've had a brand new unit in the Leviathan box set.
It's what, like the Sword Brethren?
Warhammer 40,000.
Or Sword Brothers?
We've then
Shield
had a
Brothers?
multi-part
What the hell are they
kit,
called?
Some options. You've had new Terminator chaplains,
Blade Guard?
new Terminator librarians, new Terminator captains, and now we're starting to see some of the specialized.
Yeah, this picture
Terminators of the
makes them look a lot better than what
and
in
the
that
first
leak
amongst them is, of course,
image.
the
Yeah.
Terminator Masters of Warhammer 40,000, the Deathwing, which are perhaps even amongst
And like guys who are wearing suits of armor that like are just damn near impenetrable.
It's not a one, it's
Why
a
do they
one
need
need
shields?
It's happening.
Yeah.
And there's also some questions we might be able to answer here in a second.
Yeah, there's some options in this kit which is worth calling out. So Deathwing Knights at the moment obviously have their maces.
Yeah.
There is a build in this kit with enormous, great Caliber Knight swords, and for me as well, like obviously. The Dark Angels are synonymous.
Yeah,
with swords.
Jeremy,
The
yeah, the Grey
symbol
Knight
of
helmets,
the
yeah.
chapter itself is that broken sword representing all sorts of stuff in the kind of mythology of the Dark Angels. Even the symbol of the Dark Angels and the Deathwing themselves hint at the secrets within the chapter of the Broken Sword, representing literally the broken sword of the Lion, but also the breaking of the Legion and the kind of fight against treachery sort of thing.
I like these dudes. These guys are cool.
Swords and Caliban Knight swords particularly.
And the Terminator armor has little rivets all over it.
Kind of, the Knights of Caliban sort of thing.
It's hard to have read that story way back in the day and not become a fan
They're
of
just
this.
super
Like
light swords.
I don't think you see that on other Terminators, right?
They
Like with
also
the little
like,
rivets on their armor.
enormous great maces, and you can also build this unit as a mace-wielding Deathwing Knight unit, much like the current kit in like the current, slightly smaller Terminators. So if you've still got some of those old Terminators, you can still use them. They've still got the same weapon builds and stuff, but you probably want to upgrade them to these new ones because they're just so cool and imposing.
I'm looking at these. I'm seeing different helmets. I'm seeing different weapon options. I'm seeing lots of hobby time awaiting, calling me.
So some stuff we can call out is that you absolutely have enough stuff in this kit to build them all with swords. You have enough in this kit.
Jeremy, the closer we get to Age of Sigmar reveals, the more I'm excited for Flesh Eater Courts. Yeah.
All with helmeted heads, or you
What's the
can
start,
go
man? I always
all
loved
with
the
heads.
source
So you've got loads
of
different
hooded
options.
Space Marine
You can
heads.
either
Brilliant stuff,
fully
yeah.
into one of those and go, well, I'm going to have them all hooded, or you can go, I want some of them with helmets.
Evan Flo, yeah. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. I'm not converting over to Space Marines. Although I did collect Space Marines long ago.
Archetype ways, I suppose, of building a Dark Angels army is to really
Blood Angels. I
lean
used to
into
collect
one
Blood
of the
Angels.
themes of the wings, basically. So
Way back in
all
the day.
bikes
Rogue
or
Trader, man.
Terminators or
Rogue
all
Trader.
Tacticus, and if you go all Terminators, which is it's a very cool way of doing an army, right? You definitely want some more than one.
I like these hooded
And
helmets too.
the amount of games we've been watching, Terminators are back.
Terminators are absolutely back this edition. Like certainly, there's a little bit for. The
I like that he's got the little
one,
watcher,
where
too.
Maybe the shine came off him a little bit. There's lots of other things that have been cool that have come out recently.
They're pretty darn cool.
Terminators kind of very much strode back into.
I'm just kind of like really interested in
miniature-wise, some of
the riveted
film ones
armor.
come out this year, but also into the kind of the meta.
It just completely changes the vibe of the Terminator armor.
In armies.
It makes it feel pre-heresy almost.
He's a cool watch. Look at him. I think what I can't remember you called out earlier on. It looks like his robe is
Ouch,
a little bit
Showtime.
for him, maybe. It looks a little
I don't
bit
get the
like
pick, man.
he's got
I don't get the
dad's
pick.
hoodie on sort of thing.
Jeremy, play Horus Heresy, Chris. Also
Very, very
read
cool.
No Fear,
Very
Ultramarines
cool.
being badasses,
On the
GW
way,
insist there.
that comes in the set and kind of gives you some bonus.
Yeah, I only got I'm pretty sure I'm only as far as,
Right,
or
so
finished
that's,
Fulgrim.
Warhammer 40,000.
Can't remember what's
A little
after
bit more,
Fulgrim,
stuff that you can use in 40k later
Oh,
on.
here we go. Here's the
Let's look
roadmap.
at the roadmap for codexes. So we know Adeptus Mechanicus and Necrons are on their way really soon. Like really soon. So if you're fans of those armies, then...
And how come GW keeps doing me dirty like this? Where the fuck are my Eldari? God damn it.
Codex Space Marines and Orcs and Adeptus Custodes and Tau Empire and Codex Chaos Space Marines all coming.
Go take my toys and
It's an absolutely
go home. I'm gonna take my ball and go home.
yeah, I mean, it always comes. It's never too far away. But we can announce today.
I like how they retain the arches around the head.
Following
Yeah.
those releases in summer 2024 will be Gene Stealer Cults and Adeptus Sororitas. Two very cool, very interesting armies. And I think one thing that's worth calling out on that spread of Codex is that's a really broad spread in terms of there's a little bit of Chaos in there, there's lots of Xenos, there's lots of Imperial.
Not enough
nice
Xenos.
Mix of factions.
In fact, it only needs to have one Xenos. Well, maybe Leagues of Votann too.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more units for Leagues of Votann.
And all of that is coming within the next kind of 6 to 7 months. So there's absolute smorgasbord of codexes on the way.
Favorite army redacted.
and the super secret codex as well.
Cannot wait. But that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, players get excited.
I'm excited.
All the breath of life.
But no Eldari?
Codexes are injecting into what's happening, expanding on the indexes, giving you lots of cool things to do with your miniatures.
Yeah, and I think I'm right in saying that I think most of those come with at least some new models, and some of those codexes come with a lot of new models. So there's,
Spoiler.
There's some cool stuff.
Spoiler, Eddie.
Wow, cannot
cool
wait.
stuff.
I'm hyped.
I know you are, but you do live in a permanent state of hype, though.
Pretty much. Well, look, if it's Warhammer, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Before
All right, so
Kris
that's
comes off of it.
We do have a little bit more for 40k later on in this preview, but let's jump to another system now and have a look at some other cool new things on their way.
Let's do it. Let's go.
For one
I'm
of
pumped.
the games.
I'm hyped. Excited. I'm moist in anticipation. Ooh, look at these guys. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not horrifying. Holy shit. Yeah, these are pretty damn cool. Oh, what's that in the back? Oh. What is that? What is that? What was that?
The great nobility returns, draped in their finery.
A beautiful army of knights and nobles and mighty warriors added into the mortal realms. Probably
It goes to Starman. Hoo boy!
most renowned. And
Jeremy, look at those distinguished gentlemen. Yeah,
all the
look at these
factions.
distinguished
Gleaming armor,
gentlemen.
full of flowers and life.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at some of these models.
Yeah, let's break it down. Break it down for us, Eddie.
For the Summer King and his warriors, this is the Crypt Guard, the noble defenders of the castles and keeps of the.
Look at the drummer.
This is one of your elite units, basically. For
That drummer is awesome.
and they are armed with the best
The
weapons.
standard bearer is just a big flap of skin.
Obviously well maintained by their squires and courts.
Now, if you had 4 banners,
there to some of the fine heraldry on the
that
flag,
4 skin,
some really lovely details there.
I think I know them.
Yeah, I think so.
Goes to Starman.
This unit comes
Night
with
Lord
some
Demon Prince, if I ever saw one. Yeah,
with
yeah.
swords, or you can kit them out with halberds, giving you some options in terms of how you want to kit them out and how you want to
Guy in the middle kind of looks like he's got a
best
pee.
protect your king's realm, basically.
Amazing.
I go take a
This
piss.
is one of the units that the courts have really been waiting for, which is a heavy cavalry unit. So mighty knights on the back of.
These are
fine
friggin'
noble
cool looking.
steeds. These guys can crash into enemy formations and break them in the name.
Oh,
of
look at
honor
the standard
and
on the guy on the
glory.
right.
Open light
man,
to
that's
all
crazy.
their townsfolk.
Yeah, I mean, the forces of evil will surely fall as these guys crash into their lines and gleaming knights cut down enemy champions and horde.
And I imagine these things probably fly, right?
Across the plains.
Yeah.
That'll be annoying.
Some close-ups on some of these models. I think it's really nice to see that the kind of heraldry coming to the fore here. A really nice kind of.
A lot more grotesque than what you normally see, eh?
The brightness.
This thing's
This
freaking
guy
cool
is,
looking.
a courtier of the courts, and he is of
You
mighty
immediately
warrior.
would just
He's
piss
a
yourself
big
if you saw that
monster
out in
with superhuman
bush,
feats of
in
strength,
the wild,
almost
in the
smash
forest.
through enemy formations as if he was
Shit, even in
some
the
kind of
corner of your
great,
room.
strong, powerful beast.
Don't look
As
behind
can
you.
see,
Larger than life by his deeds alone.
as you can see, a gleaming champion of
Watch
humanity,
out!
that can stand proud in the mortal realms. Some beautiful shots of the back.
Oh,
there,
man.
the full heraldic panoply of his war gear.
Oh.
There we go. The cardinal there, allowing you to add some
Friggin'
priest,
Death Pope.
and like some extra little kind of priest abilities into your Age of Sigmar army, and again a herald really of the of his courts and of his king, able to spread the good word of the court to all the peoples of the realm.
Yeah, this is pretty friggin' cool. Oh,
And the royal decapitator.
Decaffeinator.
So we saw, the Grand Justice earlier on.
Sit Tyler, I'm pissing myself right now.
He's,
Excuse me.
King's justice as fair and righteous, but often, unfortunately, some,
I kind of like the hooded version.
the justices need to. The justice needs to be dispensed.
The hooded version feels more sinister.
And when that's true, this guy stoically steps forward to deliver that unfortunate punishment.
With the sharpest and steadiest blows, obviously showing
Of
mercy
course,
and
yes.
grace.
It is really a mercy. It is really a mercy. And all of this will be coming in a, well, some of this will be coming in a new army box, which is available the first time you'll be able to get your hands on the Battle Tome, but also the first time you'll be able to get your hands on lots of these new plastic kits. This is the contents of that army set.
Show us that commander.
Really cool stuff on the way.
That guy's cool
I
looking.
mean, seriously, look, this is amazing.
See, there's 2 units with the standard bearers,
Beautiful
so it's 2 skins.
This is the
But if you had 4,
edition Battle Tome there, and obviously you can build these guys in lots of different ways. So I think we're going to see a lot of these on the battlefields of the Mortal Realms very soon. But this guy, the king himself, Usheran, the Mortarch of Delusion, Nagash's most noble and most fastidious champion.
this thing is crazy looking.
Still lives from the noble line of Strigoi, which obviously traces its lineage all the way back to the ancient realm of Lamia.
No, not because I'm scared or anything. Just
beyond
because
the borders of the Old World.
This is absolutely spectacular.
when you gotta go, bud.
Almost overwhelming. Look at that.
That's crazy.
It's just, I think, one of the best models kind of in Age of Sigmar, which is saying something, because there's some absolutely stunning stuff in there. But
I love the texture in the flesh.
This model is very big, so there's been some comparison shots. You can kind of get a sense of how big it is by looking at some of the sizes of some of the accoutrements and the jewelry that's on that model.
And maybe some of those depictions of a real life on the cloak there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll have some pictures of this on the Warhammer community website soon as well, next to some of the other miniatures in the range, so you can kind of see how
that's freaking cool looking, man.
Things. But a very impressive, very imposing miniature, and of course an important part of the narrative of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The cool thing about the king himself is that we've heard an awful lot about the Summer King, about Usheran, the Mortarch of Delusion of Nagash for an awful long time, but even in the
Jeremy, he's a Mortarch? Yeah.
Warhammer Fantasy Battle,
He's the Mortarch, apparently.
There's never been a model of this guy, right? So this is the first time we've managed to see him in all of his glory, all of his regal glory.
It's going to be hard to resist the call of this.
Jeremy, GW's hungry for your money? Yeah. Hungry for all our money.
The nobility, the charm.
They're probably going to get it.
So, a very exciting release for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. But let's have a look at another game system. And
Oh, another game? Underworlds? Or Warcry? Death George. Cruel Boys? Very nice. Oh, I like that. He looks big. Fucking sick beats.
A new faction for Warhammer Underworlds. Underworlds Herald is one of the tightest and most competitive games ever released.
Yeah,
Then why are you guys covering it on the live stream? All I'm watching is Age of Sigmar and 40k.
Cruel Boys before, but this is a
Getting Warhammer Underworlds on the stream today, man. Boys.
A warband, Dagog's Stab Lads, and these are led by Dagog, which is the guy with the big spear there. His kind of thing is that he is the Think Stealer, which means that he's out to try and get hold of enemy leaders, take their heads, and using various magics of Mork, take the cunning inside their heads so he can become the most cunning kill boss.
Cunning.
Or just the head?
It's Death George.
So, I mean,
Yeah, it's Death George. Isn't that how you say that?
But there's some fun
Warhammer
stuff
Underworlds,
going on.
Death George.
Each one of them is kind of an interesting kind of archetype within the Cruel Boys. So you've got the kind of sneaky.
I like the guy with the horn.
With the knives. You've got the one that's
Yeah,
like a little bit of
he's
a,
cool looking. I just like the pose. I just like the
two-handed
vibe of it.
Kind of like the monster breaker sort of thing. You've got the horn. One fun thing about the horn blower is that the horn of
The
Kragnos,
leader, though, he looks like he
the
skipped
other
leg
person
day.
can kind of hear the rumble of their god wherever they are. And then you've got Dagog himself, who's the leader. So it's a really fun,
Dagog?
very thematic and characterful warband. And it's a little look at some of the stats. These guys are solid. This is a good, well-rounded warband. They can fight pretty well. They are Uruks, so lots of health points. They hit pretty hard in combat, but they also have a few tricks to help them out. So they don't fight fair. They have schemes, which basically means that they are things that you know is on the way, you know that you're trying to achieve, and will change the way the battle works, but your opponent doesn't know it's coming, so you can kind of plot out a little bit of how you want the game to play out, knowing full well what the future is going to hold, but your opponent is none the wiser.
That's a little unique.
Yeah, I think one of the nice things about Underworlds at the moment is that every warband really does have a unique playstyle, so even though there's another Cruel Boys warband in Underworlds, they have a very different feel from these guys.
And everything you need is right in that box.
Yeah, they all comes as one set.
So always, man.
Got one of the core sets for Warhammer Underworlds, well, either the starter set or the current core.
I think I've opened up the few boxes of
play
these.
straight into it out of the box. So all there on the way as well. Come with a full Rivals deck and all the cards and things you need to play. So if you're a fan of the Cruel Boys, I'm a fan of the Cruel Boys. This is a really nice way to kind of get a new warband for Warhammer.
Underworlds is actually one of the components here of the World Championships. So
True,
we're the first champion country here for this event. It's one of the events people can.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those systems that's on the up at the moment. Lots of excitement about the current season of Warhammer Underworld. Lots of people enjoying it an awful lot. So yeah, we're gonna excited to see what that warband and lots of future warbands are on the way. How that changes the meta up.
Nice.
Right, let's have a look at another game system.
Really? Heresy? Oh, Assault Marines. Nice. I like the armor. Kind of like those poses too. Yeah, and they're getting all the weapons. Pretty darn cool.
How cool is that? Folks have been saying, we need infantry, we need infantry.
Yeah, it's been a long time
Assault
coming. We've
Marines.
finally got new plastic Assault Marines are very much here for Warhammer the Horus Heresy. They are in beaky armor, which I think, for me, feels like the most appropriate armor for Assault Marines, because they look like pointed, right? They look like they can go fast.
Aerodynamic, man.
Aerodynamic,
Absolutely,
we're
right?
heading that
So
direction.
that's what you want if you've got a jump pack. They are a multi-part plastic kit. You've got everything you need in this box set to make that unit.
I like that
You can
sliding
either,
pose, like the guy on the far
chainsaws
left.
and bolt pistols
Like
wielding
that
unit,
one.
or you can build them into shield and chainsaw wielding as well.
So it's truly a kit for every legion.
Yeah, so some legions kind of favor certain things, right? So your
Lightning claws,
shield,
shields,
particularly cool if You've got
chainswords.
something like a kind of siege-esque sort of force. So your Imperial Fists, your Iron Warriors, also things like Ultramarines, where they have that kind of shield wall kind of aesthetic going for them. If you want a more well-rounded kind of brutal look to which more offense, less defense, something like Sons of Horus or Blood Angels, something like that, you probably want just more damage, right? So you're going to go for your chainsaw bolt pistol combo.
And the Imperial Fist over there, look at that. It captures so much of the story of Imperial Fist right there, and I love that paint job.
Yeah, a little bit of Black Templar in there as well. Kind of obviously during the Horus Heresy, the Templars were a part of the Imperial Fist before they kind of broke off on their own.
Spoilers.
What? It's fine. This is a really flexible kit as well. So you've got the kind of jump packs, which are a kind of new style almost of jump packs. They're more detailed than some of the Horus Heresy jump packs we've seen in the past.
I like them. They feel more logical. I know that's a ridiculous thing to say in Warhammer 40,000 or 30,000, but yeah, they feel more like they're designed to carry the Marine upwards.
Or if you wanted a more classic look to your assault squad for something like Iron Warriors.
Ghost of Starman sounds like enough shield for everyone, which is nice. Yeah.
It's like the technology is not quite there, not quite as sleek yet. They've just strapped him in there and said, just here's these rockets and go.
There is something that's completely brutal about the way that jump packs work with Space Marines, because the Space Marine itself is like a ton, right? They're like a ton of armor and like gene-bred killer, and they just put a rocket on it and throw.
Gene-bred killer?
A brutal, unsubtle unit, but very useful in Warhammer the Horus Heresy, because it's rare that you're kind of able to move around the battlefield quite as fast as these guys. And in the Horus Heresy, you can have a lot of jump troops in your army, right? You can have swarms of them. Warhammer 40,000 maybe be unusual to see more than maybe 10 or 20. In the Horus Heresy, 50 is not an uncommon sight in an army, so you do want plenty of them. And the good news is they come in nice big boxes.
Ghost Starman, your lows will never be saved. Exactly.
I really love all the options. Being a kit basher myself, be able to mix and match bits and create the squads that looks best.
Yeah, we'll have some pictures of these up on the community website soon as well. But the thing to know as well is there's lots of options in there for the commanders of that squad. So Power Fists and Lightning Claws and Plasma Pistols and all the stuff you'd want to have on your leader units.
I know a lot of Horus Heresy players. I know they're going to be excited.
Horsey.
Yeah.
Harris Horsey.
Right, let's take a look at another game system.
Okay, another game. Let's go. Necro. Oh no! The cop car. Oh Jesus, the feds. This is kind of awesome. I'm digging this. That's cool as hell.
folks may recognize that.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, so this is the Taurus.
I don't know what Necromunda's becoming.
This is the
but
enforcers of Necromunda.
it's kind of fun.
Around the Ash Wastes. Unfortunately, not all the crime in Necromunda happens inside the city, and occasionally you need to go out there and track down dangerous elements who might be either undermining law or more likely undermining the nobility of the hives. So you need to make sure that there's none of that. Taurus
this thing is
enforcers are able to get access to this. You might recognize the Taurus Venator from Astra Militarum forces, commonly used by things like the Elysian drop troops, but this is a common chassis template design that's seen across the Imperium in lots of different places.
Sid Tyler, it's the Elysian vehicle from Forge World.
Significantly, I suppose, more durable and advanced than some of the things that they're coming up against in the Ash Waste. They are well equipped, so much like the Palatine Enforcers themselves, which tend to have better armor, better weapons, but far fewer.
Those guns look more like Tau guns.
The Taurus Venator is a
or maybe Votan
pick for your transportation across the Ash Waste.
I love the different weapon options here. Those look so cool, and the wheels too on the thing.
Yeah, it looks very fun. It looks very durable, right? So you've got
no, this is cool.
Lots of wheels, and it looks like you could very happily.
I mean, how many people are actually going to LED little lights on it?
The riders,
little cop lights.
With lots of other stuff. You've got different weapon options. You've got sort of stowage and kind of storage and spare fuel and stuff like that. So you can really lean into that slightly grubby aesthetic that Necromunda has, or you can keep it nice and paint it nice and clean and put none of those details on and have it like it's just rolled off the production line somewhere in High Primus.
I do like that very ground level.
Yeah, that's very cool.
The gritty side of Necromunda, how it captures a lot of feel of Warhammer 40,000 and what it's like to be inside a city or something like that, and just how maybe. How those conditions
goes to stuff, man.
Necromunda to some extent is like a
you pretty much would be doing that the entire time
universe, right, which is
as you're playing the game.
Planet, which has just been completely ruined by the industry of humanity, and now you've just got like fighting over the scraps of what's left. Even though
now that you've said it, I'm never not gonna do that whenever I see that.
Awful, right?
Whenever I see that on the table, I'm gonna do that.
Every single gang is trying to do something horrible. There are the cannibals in the basement and hunters in the skies and all sorts of horrible things. So the world of Necromunda is a very grim place indeed, but a very fun place to set skills.
Oh, Necromunda, it's a great place.
There you go. Enjoy.
I've also seen a couple of war bosses wringing their hands, so maybe
I mean,
they have some designs.
I think every vehicle is to some extent.
Ghost of Starman, if you don't like the noises, you'll get arrested by your own minis. Yeah, pretty much.
I also think that would Gene steal a cult up very well.
Yeah, Jeremy, since Ash Waste, Necromunda has become, wait for it, Gorkamorga? Yeah, it's pretty much becoming Gorkamorga. Yeah, pretty much. Which is fine. Because those both are fun games. I love Necromunda. I did not play that much of Gorkamorga, so yeah.
Very true. There we go.
There we go. Right, cool. Very cool indeed. All right, I think we are now on to Old World next. Oh, Kill Team. We've got Kill Team. Okay, excited. Sorry, guys, I forgot the order there.
So many games I don't even know.
Warhammer 40,000 in the shape of the next Kill Team. So let's take a look.
Kill Team.
What's on it.
Y'all gonna like this.
Kill Team. Oh. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. For a second, I thought maybe I paused. Or maybe I stroked out.
Well, that's a good question.
And by the way, people, the brownies kicked in now.
The chat has quite rightly noticed and been crying the walk by, a brand new plastic warband for Kill Team, the Night Lords. So this is based on the Chaos Space Marine kit, but with a huge amount of new options and customizability.
That's awesome. Yeah, I concur.
This is Nemesis Claw. So this is 10 box of Chaos Space Marines with a huge amount of extra Night Lordy components, and you can have a look there at some of the incredible details that you've got. Linger on this image for a little bit, kind of soak it in, and then we'll have a look at some of the ones up close. So you can see you've got the chain glaives in there, you've got some chain claws, you've got lightning claws, you've got all the kind of bat-headed aesthetic you expect from the Night Lords. One thing worth noting, I think the bat heads are a little bit more kind of streamlined and restrained, maybe.
Yeah.
The Night Lords helmet we've seen in the past. They look a little bit more practical, but no less terrifying.
They hide in the shadows and get it done.
I like the helmetless ones, how it looks like it's coming off their rebreather.
Absolutely, but I mean, a phenomenal looking kill team. Very
Alex,
cool.
still waiting for Cal.
Look at some of the models in a little bit more detail. So
this is amazing, by the way. I gotta say, there's some elements here.
Yeah, there's some lovely detail. So on the left there, you have a Night Lord with a Loyalist Astarte stuck to...
Groups of Starman, these guys are brilliant. Yeah, oh yeah. I concur. I wholeheartedly concur.
What kind of fell rituals have gone on there, but fundamentally, what he's saying there is it doesn't matter if you're humanity's finest, I'm still going to hunt you down, gut you, and stick you on a banner for my own amusement and for the amusement of my Dark Pantheon. In the middle there, you've got a stealth specialist with obviously a venomed blade and a scoped bolt pistol and that kind of terrifying skull mask. So leaning into that kind of stealth specialist. One of the nice things about Kill Team is that even though these are all legionaries to some extent, you have very clear specialisms within that, including things like on the right there, the lightning claw wielding Night Lords, and those lightning claws very reminiscent of the Night.
Alex, shoulder pad on the dude with the claws look awesome. Yeah.
Same look, same feel, same vibe. You can definitely see that gene imprint working its way down.
I mean, all legions have a very interesting and fraught relationship with their gene father, and they're no exception. But it doesn't mean that they don't like
that cloak.
Claws, an awful lot.
That is cool.
Here's a close up on some more of the models. These are really cool. So
look at the sword too. It's like a rib cage.
Is phenomenally kind of cool.
That is cool.
One of the most kind of metal chainsaws I think I've ever seen. And of course, the leader of your warband has a flayed cloak made of the skins of his enemies, just in case anyone going up against him thought it would be a good idea.
That patchwork looks absolutely awesome.
Excellent stitch work there from the Knight.
Fantastic.
He did it himself, to be honest. Yeah, very, very good. So a very cool warband. Yeah, obviously Space Marines in Kill Team.
But that's it. That's all we're going to see on the Night Lords. I don't want to see more.
all the things you'd want them to be able to do. That unit, of course, will see utility.
Ghost of Starman Champion's sword seems pretty impractical, but sometimes you gotta prioritize the drip. Yeah, exactly. It's 40k, man. I mean, like, it doesn't make sense for your commander to be sticking out of a Bane blade.
I think you have enough shoulder pads in there so that every single one of them can.
Yeah, I want a closer look at the helmeted heads and unhelmeted heads. I want to see these masks. Because Night Lords, that was the only thing about the plastic kits, is I wasn't crazy about like all the crazy wings on them. Whereas these feel a little bit better. And I think it's because they're swept back.
You quite happily kind of put these guys into it now and say, actually, you know what, I'm just going to have a...
Oh, and I want to see the helmets.
Cool looking Night Lords unit, and that's fine.
Be a close-up of the helmets, please.
Kill Team and Warhammer 40.
Eddie?
So,
Eddie.
Very cool addition to Kill Team. I think Night Lords have a very fanatical fan base, as do many of the Traitor Legions.
Wrong guy.
I'd be very pleased to see them.
They've been in some amazing novels.
So how
people
these?
like to look at some comments in the chat. It's like, well, I guess I got to learn how to paint lightning now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I just thought of something
you can probably
fun.
get away with not painting the lightning on them, but you can give it a go, right? It's a good excuse.
Give it a go, right?
And you know, it's certainly a lot easier to paint lightning onto 5 or 10 models for a Kill Team than it is to embark on a full 100 model and tanks army of lightning. So, you know, have a dabble, have a go of a Kill Team, see if you like it, and if you do, you can always expand into a full army.
Those look awesome. But we're not done.
We're not done. We know a lot of you have tuned in to see some old world content, and we can now quite happily
some
show
amateur
you,
ventriloquism
the
for you.
most impressive and spectacular miniature it's going to be releasing alongside the launch of the Old World. So let's take a look at something very cool indeed.
Ooh, what's this? Old World? Tomb Kings? Holy shit. The dragon? Holy shit, is this Forge World resin or is this plastic? Wow. That is friggin' cool. Jeremy Cetra. Unleash.
That's going to be a big square base.
That is indeed a very big, impressive new multi-part plastic Necrolith Bone Dragon available for the Tomb Kings. We can confirm that the Tomb Kings will be an army released and supported alongside
very, very cool.
as one of the launch armies of the new Warhammer
Ebb and flow, Dusty Crusty, yeah.
Very early next year. This is a phenomenal plastic kit. A very different sort of bone dragon than the zombie dragons that we've seen in the world ridden by vampires. Almost like a crocodilian sort of head to it. Far less meat on its bones, perhaps, than some of the other undead constructs we've seen.
It's more like a crocodile with wings.
A very impressive model. The Tomb King obviously riding high at the top of that to give him a commanding view of the battlefield. If you have a Tomb King army, if you're familiar with Warhammer Fantasy, you'll know that you absolutely want to have a Tomb King in your army. He is the kind of linchpin general unit of your army.
Ghost of Star with the Gator Skull is great, yeah.
And what safer place could there be than perched atop the back of an enormous undead construct? This is a multi-part plastic kit, so as well as being able to build it as a Tomb King, options is always great.
Oh, that is cool.
There's a High Priest on Necrolith Bone Dragon. This sort of beautiful little features in this that are kind of worth dwelling on.
Oh man,
you can see
I love that that piece over the chariot.
Kind of maybe like an endless spell or something that he's kind of created and constructed out of the sands of Khemri. Lovely little details on there of like the death mask at the bottom there. That's probably what he looked like in life before old age and the ravages and the gaseous curse.
That is cool.
Lots of lovely little kind of scarab details and skull details, kind of hinting at the kind of worship of death that obviously occurred within the land of Khemri itself.
Looks like someone's getting two. That's awesome in the comic.
I mean, yeah, you get two. I mean, it's phenomenal miniature. I think you'd be rude not to include at least one in your Tomb King's force. The other thing that's really nice about this kit is whichever one you decide to build, if you go
this
for
is Starman, he looks pretty good for his age.
You can get a Tomb King, which you use as like a Tomb King or a Tomb Prince on foot to lead.
Is he selling those?
So whichever one you decide to build, you also get another foot character.
Is he selling a set of anal beads? Is that what he's selling?
Warhammer Fantasy. Kind of
anal beads for sale. Oh, they pulled it.
Especially in an undead force, you want to make sure you've got enough heroes to keep your army moving forward. But yeah, this is a spectacular miniature. I think even if you've got no interest in the Old World as a game system, and
this is cool.
Really very excited about it. But even if you just love miniatures and you want something to paint, this looks like a painter's dream.
Oh yeah, the Lord itself. Then all the texture you could paint onto the bone if you wanted to.
Yeah,
if you were entering this like for a competition or something.
I think you'll paint up fairly quickly, right? You could get contrast paints and dry brushes and stuff would get your kind of most of it, the bone structure done quite quickly, and then you could really take your time over the kind of golden detail and the gems and all that sort of stuff.
You'd have to do this in sub-assemblies, though.
Have some requests as well.
Yeah, I don't actually know if we have a close-up of the cat, but I think we will try and get that up on the Warhammer community website for you very soon. It does come with a mummified cat. Which is included in the kit as well. I don't know if the cat actually has a profile. I think it might just be an aesthetic addition to the kit.
The room where we did this live also erupted, so you're in good company wanting that picture as well.
Yeah, but such a cool model. There's loads of bits in this as well. So
yeah, this is freaking cool.
The Tomb King, and you kind of keep the Lich Priest separate. You've got loads of different bits to kind of mix into the rest of your army and kind of jazz up your chariots and units and stuff like that. So it's a really, really fun model. This is on its way with a bunch of other new Tomb King things launching.
Ross Sandbanks Exodites for 40k? Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at, bud.
So it's a very exciting Tomb King fans and for fans of the Old World generally.
This looks so amazing. And look at the profile. The height that's going to come off the battlefield is going to truly be a
the Beadstorm.
It stands so much taller. I mean, you look at that and you can kind of get
the Beadstorm.
Right? But he's standing, you know.
That's a good one, bud. That's a good one.
The Beadstorm. A very big, imposing model. You can imagine this thing just smashing through regiments.
People are very excited about the Old World. Yeah, and seeing stuff like this even more.
It's going to be very cool. Right. So I am afraid, guys, that is the last of our previews. We've seen loads of cool stuff. We've seen Warhammer 40,000, some Age of Sigmar stuff, a new Mortarch return.
Eddie, you're killing my high, man.
Yeah, we've seen the Necron stuff. I think the Dark Angel's got some very cool things on the way. The Night Lords seem very popular as well. Did you have a favourite, Paul, of the stuff that we've shown today?
I really think that the Mortar coming back. I mean, that model looks. I mean, it's hard to get out of the scope, but that thing looks massive.
I mean, it is bigger than a.
That was good. That was good.
Almost the size of the kind of Demon Primarch.
It's just the way it's holding it.
It's is cool for a bunch of reasons. Like, if you've been following the lore
Wow,
of
could you even
Warhammer
show
for a
flying
long
crew?
time,
Yeah,
you'll know that
Alex.
that
Yeah.
character Usherin was pivotal to some of the major events of the Old World, of the fall of the various vampire dynasties and the rise of the kind of Strigoi in the Old World, and then obviously the rise of the Fleshy courts in the Mortal Realms. So his story is like spans almost the whole history of Warhammer, right from like Nagash's origin all the way through to the current timeline of Age of Sigmar. This is very cool.
I'm going over the edge. I'm diving in.
Yeah.
Starting that army.
It's really cool. And then the other miniatures in that range are great. I think Fleshy Courts are one of those armies that's always had an incredible narrative and backstory, including kind of links and origins to very early Warhammer lore.
Chase, the Tomb
now
Kings
we're
are
seeing
back.
a
Many
version
Warhammer Fantasy battles
of
suddenly
that
screaming in
really cool
ecstasy
for
without
Age of
knowing
Sigmar.
why. Yeah.
Warhammer 40,000, you saw that Codex roadmap. Just an incredibly cool few months ahead for Warhammer 40,000. If you like Dark Angels in particular, you've got a good time ahead.
Well, it's been a true pleasure hanging out with you, hanging out with the chat, watching these amazing previews, talking about Warhammer all day.
I could do that.
All
I could do it
day.
again tomorrow.
We're going to do it again tomorrow, exactly. If you tune in now, you actually come back and watch on Twitch. All the World Champion games
The way
we covered between Warhammer,
Paul's voice was kind of carrying off like that. It sounded like more like a guy who's about to, you know,
up shortly on the Warhammer community
Cobain
site.
himself.
Already,
Some of them already are.
Check out the videos. You can see, maybe zoom in on that thing you were asking about.
Yeah, the cat's going to be there, I'm pretty sure.
It will be. Eddie, it's been a pleasure. In chat, it's been awesome. We'll see y'all next time, everybody.
That's it?
Goodbye.
Bye. That's all we're getting? That's it, motherfuckers. Oh, that's it. That's the reveals. Was it cool? Sure. Was it awesome? Yeah, it was. Best thing ever? Sure. What was it? Fuck. What were we looking at on the thing here? And I said, oh, I wanted a closer look at that. It was these guys, right? Okay, hold on. Here. They already have the shit up on the website. Yeah. Ghouls. Oh, and I wanted a closer look at those damn Night Lord helmets, too. They should have all the pretty pictures. I like that drum. I like how you have the little smattering of blood. That's cool. All right. What was it? That thing is just freaky looking. I would pee. I would literally pee buckets and buckets. This guy's cool. I dug this guy. I like the hooded version though. Okay, so that it was. This guy's cool looking. No, it wasn't the Termes. No. Maybe they haven't got all the articles up yet. Where's the Night Lord Kill Team? Was that it? Yeah, it was just the Night Lords, right? The Night Lords I wanted to look at. Oh, they haven't posted it yet. Taking their time. Very, very, very cool. Exciting stuff. I mean, as far as online reveals go, how would you rate it? How would you rate this reveal? This online preview, as it were. Like on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being kind of garbo. Alex, 7 out of 10? Because no Tau? Is that what you're saying? Like, okay, like your point is about as valid as mine as far as no Eldari in the preview, so it's all bunk, right? Evan Full, love the detail we are alive for still, if you are interested in a faction or not. Huh? I think my shit's really kicked in now. Oh, we get some closer looks at these minis. Yes. So it's the Blade Guard, right? The Blade Guard veteran duders. That's that helmet, right? Right. Yeah, they're pretty darn cool. And I like the little rivets and everything like that on them. I think that is really cool. Alex, 7 out of 10, because me personally, I'm not a player of any of those faction, but the detail and concepts of the models look great. So it's still 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 out of 10 is adequate. Sort of. Kind of. Yeah, these guys are cool. This guy though, he looks like he may have skipped leg day. That thing looks like it hurts. Pop side the head. I don't know why. This model just kind of speaks to me, man. There's something very familiar about this. A scene from something. An art piece, maybe. The composition is very familiar. If anybody can tell me what I'm thinking of, possibly, let me know. Yeah. Ghost of Starman, he's really good at blowing. Well, I mean, can you imagine like how much? Well, shit, I can't even imagine because I've never played an air horn instrument in my life. But I'd imagine it takes quite a bit. I'd imagine. Whoa. Yeah, basically. You can hear it now. Fucking Pirates of the Caribbean here. I don't know why he's got his knife in his mouth. General skipped leg day. Come on, boys. Cop car. The cop car is fantastic. Love the cop car. Jetpack Assault Marines. Very, very cool. I like how they like visually you can view, like you can read the miniature that the backpack, like the jetpack, sits around the armor. It's not like it's plugged onto the armor. It's more like it's a harness that sits onto the model or the marine if it was like a real thing. Yeah, I like that. I like the look of these jetpacks. These are way better looking in my opinion as far as previous jump packs for Space Marines. Like these feel like something that would carry a Space Marine short distances, right? Or long distances, I guess. I don't know. Evan Flo, Kris needs to make the noise. We are, or the wah. Yeah. If I put the mic up close to my face, it'd probably go. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. All right. That was fun. Got to see some stuff. Right? Kind of. Sort of. I don't know. I'm feeling very relaxed right now. I'm not going to lie. So, I think it's bedtime for me. I'm out of water. Oh, I didn't even have a tea. Shit. Alex, beaky helmets for the win? Yes, always beaky helmets for the win. I think we're going to end it there. I want to thank you all for tuning in and sitting with me and watching the reveals. We weren't exactly holding hands, but if you want, we could all sit around, sing Kumbaya. We could do that. Open up the Discord channel and start singing. Anyway, yeah, I'm done. Figuratively and literally. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys later at some point. I don't know. Been having fun playing that Realms of Ruin. That's been a lot of fun. Been enjoying it. Anybody who's kind of on the fence, I would recommend it. I'm voting yes. Get it. If you enjoy Age of Sigmar or even just RTSs, yeah, it's pretty darn fun. Is it a perfect game? No. But it's pretty damn good. It's a lot of fun. And it's different. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to play some more Realms of Ruin. And yeah, if you play on Xbox or PlayStation, Xbox, look up my gamer tag. You can click the video to see what my gamer tag is, because I'm not going to quite say it here because it's a gamer tag. Anyway, yeah, I'm out of here. Peace out, as they say in Canada. I almost clicked the wrong button.